Good morning, class. Yesterday we reviewed some surface area word problems. I found a tricky one from yesterday that I want to review. Ella and Jake love to skateboard. They created a frame for the ramp and then covered it with wood. How much wood did it take to cover the ramp, including the bottom? Okay, so this is what our shape looks like today, this ramp. So step one, we have to figure out, well, what are all of the different shapes that this is comprised of if we're looking at the surface? So first thing I notice is the triangles, and I notice this is kind of like a rectangle. If I'm looking at the base, we have another rectangle, and on this far side, we have a third rectangle. Okay, so I'm going to start by drawing this shape if I were to flatten it out. So the base we said was a rectangle. Then we have these two sides that are these right angle triangles. So I'll make a little fancy right angle. And it didn't fit, but that's okay. So then we said we have two other rectangles on the side if we were to close this up all nicely. Okay, so here's what the surface looks like, all these different shapes. The first one that I'm going to start solving to find the area of is probably the triangle. Why not? Yesterday we reviewed that the formula for a triangle is 1/2 base times height. All right, let's find those dimensions. So if we go over here, looking at just the triangle, well, what's the base? The base looks like it is about 4 with a height of 3. So I'm going to write out that dimension. We said the base was 4 and the height was 3. Okay, start solving by plugging it into the formula. 3 times 4 is 12, and if we're trying to figure out what half of 12 is, we would know that that's 6. Okay, so this triangle has an area of 6 feet squared. If that's the area for this triangle must be the same. So I'm going to go ahead and put 6 feet squared. Next, I'm going to start solving for the rectangles. Now, if I look at how wide each one of these surfaces is, this really long, the longer line, well, how long is it? 11. So that means that this surface and this surface, they're both 11. But what about the side dimensions? That's where all of these other numbers start coming in. Looks like one side is 5, the bottom side is 4, and the shorter side is 3. So if I were to say, well, what was this larger surface? We said this one was 5 by 11. If I were to solve for the area of this larger rectangle, 5 times 11, because we know the formula for just a rectangle is length times width. Don't even get me started. 5 times 11 is 55. Okay, so this one has a area of 55. If you remember from before when we were doing the triangle, this side had the bottom is the one that is 4 by 11. So I already had that dimension here, 4 by 11, which means the middle one must be 44 feet squared. And this last side, that's the shorter side, we said had to be 3 by 11. 3 times 11 is 33 feet squared. Okay, so now that I found the area of all of these different shapes, I'm ready to start adding it up. So 33 plus 44 plus 55. Got these, now I got to do the triangles. 6 and 6 is 12. Okay, start adding up. 7 and 7 is 14. 7, 8, 9, 14. 144 feet squared is our answer. So that was the trickier word problem from yesterday. Make sure that you are trying your best on those quizzes, looking back at your formulas in your math notebook, and keep retaking that quiz until you get 100%. Okay, try your best, strive to be the best you can be, and bring your questions to today's live chat. See you guys.